Okay, so this is the first video on this new channel. So first I'm going to go into the actual video itself for this video. Then I'm going to kind of go over the second half of this video. Pretty much the future plans for this channel and all the stuff that'll be on this channel. But first we're just going to get into exactly this video. And what this is a video over 5 figures I recently ordered. When I was younger, I used to get dinosaur figures and stuff all the time, dinosaurs, animals, and then I just kind of quit buying figures. But recently I've gotten way bigger back into dinosaurs, and I think it's a combination of factors. I've been watching a bunch of dinosaur YouTube channels, but I've been doing that for years, even after, just because I've still been really interested in it. But it's the first time I have bought figures in years, probably 5+ years, honestly. But due to the combination of factors, it's gotten me back in. Obviously, Prehistoric Planet, but I think Prehistoric Planet has ignited a bunch of people's interest back in the dinosaurs. Just because, I personally believe we haven't had a really good dinosaur documentary, it seems like, since probably Planet Dinosaur, honestly. That was at least my favorite that's come out in the past 10 years. We haven't had anything touch Walking with Dinosaurs, I don't believe, since then. Maybe Prehistoric or Planet Dinosaurs is definitely, I think, one of the better documentaries since Walking with Dinosaurs. But I personally believe Prehistoric Planet looks to be the best dinosaur documentary that we're going to have since. And there's also a bunch of other factors. The YouTube videos I've been watching, and Prehistoric Planet, obviously. And I mean, Jurassic World, I guess you could throw a little bit in there, but I'm not the biggest Jurassic Park, Jurassic World fan. I like Jurassic Park series way more than I do Jurassic World so far, but I guess that also kind of adds into the interest a little bit. But specifically on this lot, being the first figures I bought in years, the reason why I got this lot specifically is I've been looking for some Carnegie figures. I really like the Carnegie Collection, obviously. I know it's they've quit making the figures, Safari Ltd and Carnegie. So if you don't know, Safari Ltd has its own separate line of dinosaur figures, and then they had the Carnegie line, which was a line that they made and worked with the Carnegie line. I think almost all the figures were dinosaurs that were at the Carnegie Museum at one point. And they all had paleontologists. I know they had paleontologists that worked at the Carnegie Museum, would look over the figures and make sure they thought they were good. But there's 2 figures in this lot that made me specifically want this lot, and I paid about $25 for it. So about $5 for a Carnegie figure is a really good deal, honestly. The main 2 figures, though, were the Dinosuchus and the Velociraptor. Because there's a bunch of lots, actually, where you can get the T-Rex and the Stegosaurus. And the surprising thing with the Carnegie lot is most of the older figures, the ones from the late 80s to early 90s, are a lot easier to get than the figures from the later 2000s, honestly. So, kind of surprising there, because most stuff, it's harder to get the older stuff, but in the Carnegie line specifically, it's a lot easier to get the older stuff. But, I mean, obviously, who doesn't want 2 T-Rexes or Tyrannosaurs? But the Stegosaur, we'll get into it first, is obviously the one, well, I guess not obviously. I know some people really like Stegosaurus, but I personally am a big theropod, carnivorous dinosaur fan, so Stegosaurus for me was the one that I really wanted the least. Not to say that I really didn't want it, but just out of the figures in this lot specifically, it's the one I cared for the least. And honestly, to be a figure that was 1988, it's honestly still pretty accurate. The legs being under the body still, the spines and the plates look pretty good, and having that smaller head. I mean, there's probably a few things, but as far as just inaccuracies and stuff, for a figure this old, it's not bad at all. And then we'll get into some other figures that have a few more inaccuracies. So these Tyrannosaurs, it's pretty much the same figure. I think one's just a slightly newer or a slightly older version of the other, because the paint schemes are a little different and some of the proportions are slightly different. But you can tell it's pretty much the same figure. Personally, I like this one a little more, with the darker top. And that one might have been the same figure, and it was that paint job. I mean, and it just like dulled out or something. But really like these two. Obviously, this one's not 100% accurate because if it was, it would be standing more like this. The head could be a little bigger too, but as far as just inaccuracies, for a figure from 1988, it's not horrible. Actually, it's really good for a 1988 figure, but obviously with, some more current science, it would probably be standing a little bit more like this instead of that with the kangaroo tail. And then the two main reasons I got the lot. One was this Velociraptor. I have a personal reason why I really like this Velociraptor specifically. I have not owned this figure, but I have a cousin who also used to really like dinosaurs, and I think he still does as well. But he had this figure, so whenever I would go to his house, I remember vividly playing with this figure, and I really like this figure. And honestly, as far as everything for a figure, let me see when this one was made. 1993. I'm not exactly sure on how the science of dinosaur feathers were at the time of 1993, but this figure, as far as like the arms, going back actually to this T-Rex, I will say, the arms on this T-Rex are really good. I'm actually really surprised that they're not, the human wrist look where they're like that, or I guess the Jurassic Park look. They actually are directed the right way, which is the same with this Velociraptor. The arms are correct, being that direction. And if this figure was feathered, it would be super, super accurate, even for today. But for 1993, this is probably pretty accurate. I'm not exactly sure on how the science of feathers were at that time, so it probably was an accurate figure for the time. But now, obviously, if you would throw some feathers on here. And another reason I will say that I personally like this figure is Velociraptor is one of my favorite dinosaurs. And not because of Jurassic Park, actually. I was kind of a little late as far as a kid, as far as that being one of the reasons I liked Velociraptor. Honestly, for me, one of the reasons I liked Velociraptor more was Walking with Dinosaurs. No, it wasn't. It was Chased by Dinosaurs. Another BBC one. Big Nigel Marven fan, obviously. And his episode that involved Tyrannosaurus, where he went and there was Velociraptor featured. And then some other cool documentaries. There's the one made by Discovery with the white Velociraptor, which I really liked as a kid. And I mean, I still like it now, but I remember watching that one. So I really like Velociraptor, and honestly, I mean, I know the Chased by Dinosaurs one is also not feathered, but, other than the feathers, I don't believe it's a horribly inaccurate dinosaur, especially for the time. And then the main reason I got this figure, or this lot, is for a non-dinosaur, honestly, Dinosuchus. Pretty much just an oversized alligator, about 4 times the size, honestly, because alligators today get at around 10 plus feet. I don't know exactly the max alligator can get, but I know it's somewhere between 10 and 20 feet, maybe 20 feet, but around that. And Dinosuchus, I believe, could get to about 40 feet, maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter, but one of my favorites. I mean, you always see that artwork a bit like lunging up for Albertosaurus. Albertosaurus is a personal favorite of mine, though. I really want to get an Albertosaurus figure, and I'm trying to hunt down that Carnegie one for a reasonable price, but I think I'm just going to end up having to overpay and get it. But if somebody puts one up on eBay, and you put it for around $30-ish, I will probably buy it. But I am really wanting to get that Safari Ltd Carnegie Albertosaurus. It's a figure that's really high on my list as far as like figures I wanted to get. But I'm really trying to complete the Carnegie set, even though I know it's a harder set to complete with some of the figures being harder to find and being expensive. But it is a set I really would love to try to complete. But I really love this figure because I know if you're doing like a stop motion or a diorama of that features Dinosuchus, obviously you could pretty much just use the big, you could use like an alligator figure, and it would honestly probably do. But I personally do like having Dinosuchus specifically, and I love the color scheme on this one because it pretty much looks like an alligator with just some extra yellows and whites. And I mean, for this figure was 1995, and I mean, I don't think much has really changed for our thoughts of Dinosuchus, other than it being just a really big crocodilian that would eat dinosaurs, which also was featured by Nigel Marven, or featured with Nigel Marven in Prehistoric Planet. or not Prehistoric Planet. I'm getting all these Prehistoric Park. I'm getting all these names mixed up as far as documentaries. And if I misspeak, comment it down below because I don't want to present anything as wrong. But so if I mispronounce something or say something incorrect, I might actually know what I'm saying, but just forget, or I might actually say something wrong. So just comment down below if you see something I say is completely inaccurate or something. But I think that's really it as far as this lot specifically. So if that's all you really wanted to watch in this video, you're free to go. But if you want to hear some other stuff that I have talking about the future of this channel, some future video ideas, just stick through it for a little bit and I will get into them as fast as possible. Two future videos I have. So as far as this channel, I plan on making videos that over pretty much anything prehistoric, dinosaur related. I'm going to have videos like going just over like accuracy and stuff, or like ideas. Like, I don't know exactly if I want to tackle this one just because it's a pretty controversial one. Like Nanotyrannus, like whether or not it's juvenile T-Rex or Nanotyrannus. But one specifically I'm going to do is over Spinosaurus and aquatic, like if it's semi-aquatic or not, and the extent to which, like if it lived more like a crocodile or a herring. Also, I'm going to have a video I plan on having a video on this. This one I might not get to just because I haven't done a ton of research or whatever on it, but over Jurassic World having Giganotosaurus, and that video will make more sense, but it includes Giganotosaurus in Jurassic World, the new one. And one of the reasons why I'm more excited for it than the two previous Jurassic Worlds. And then I also do like a little bit of dinosaur art, like I draw dinosaurs. I'm not great at it, but I might go over a video on like how I decide, like, because I usually use like modern day animal counterparts as far as like the colors and stuff. So, and I do not think I'm a great artist by any means, but as far as like the stuff I like to draw, like out of animals and dinosaurs, I definitely think I'm better at dinosaurs, but I do not think I'm a great dinosaur artist. There's a lot of people way more talented and skilled at drawing dinosaurs than me. But I wouldn't care to go over my like process more than how they actually look. And then also, I'm going to do some videos on figures, obviously, like if Safari Ltd announces all their figures for 2022 or a company like that, then I'll probably go over it and talk about which ones I plan on getting and stuff, which will probably be most of them, honestly. And any like big dinosaur news, I'll probably go over, like say we get another like Dreadnoughtus case, which is like a new dinosaur bigger than Argentinosaurus, like some news thing like that, which I know that's still a controversial topic, but. And then I also plan on, like as far as dinosaur figures, I also plan on doing like more stuff like this, like actually just going over lots I buy and stuff like that. And then I like doing stop motion. I'm not great at it either, but I might try to do something like that. I kind of got an idea as far as a stop motion video though, like an Allosaurus video for stop motion. Because Allosaurus is another personal favorite of mine with Velociraptor. And I'll probably have a video like that. Also, like my top whatever favorite dinosaurs. Probably for my birthday, kind of like what I believe Red Raptor Wrights did. And then another cool dinosaur type thing is Apex Theropod deck building game. I don't know how many of you are aware of that, but it's like a board game that features the top predator dinosaurs, like Giganotosaurus, Carnotaurus, T-Rex, Utahraptor. I might have a video of me actually playing the game. I don't believe I've ever actually played the game, but I've had the game forever just because I love the look. The dinosaur art in it was really good. And I might have a video going over just playing that just because it does look really fun from what I've seen, but I just haven't ever got around to actually playing it. And then if anybody is wanting to sell any Carnegie figures, specifically that Albertosaurus, just comment it down below, like saying on eBay I'm listing a lot that includes some Carnegie figures or whatever. And if you comment it down below, I might go look on it. I will go look And if I want to buy them, I'll buy them, obviously. So just comment it down below saying, I'm going to list some dinosaur figures or whatever on eBay, and I'll go look. And then finally, I want to mention some dinosaur YouTubers that have also helped me get back into like the dinosaur figure collecting and just being interested in dinosaurs and paleontology on its own. Include Red Raptor Rights, which I've already mentioned, and then Edge. I really like Edge, and then Yeedoll or Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong. I really like his channel, and I would love to figure out some way I could do something like the mailbag type videos on here, because obviously I would love to just receive some dinosaur figures from you all, but I don't know exactly how to come off doing that, if that makes sense, because I don't want you all just to send me figures just to be sending me figures. Like and I don't want to do just an accuracy type thing on each figure just because I don't want to steal his content exactly. But I wouldn't care to do something like that where I do something going over figures you all send or art you all send in, something like that. But I have a lot of big plans for this channel, if you can't tell, and I'm really excited for it. Obviously, everything's going to be dinosaurs and paleontology and prehistoric animals, if that wasn't clear already. So, I hope you all like this video. And I don't mean specifically have to like the video, but just enjoyed the video more. So thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned. And I know at the time of making this video, I have no idea what the channel name is going to be yet. But I guess by the time this video comes up, we'll have a channel name. And that could change. Just because, right now I still don't even I've got some ideas, but I don't know exactly what I want the channel name to be yet. But thank you all so much for watching. I think I already said that, but just thank you all so much, because it means the world just to get the views and seeing that people like the type of stuff that I also like.